way downfield, makes him fall and have a game. Nice scene, Brewer.
It's been 672 days since a full-capacity football game at Bud Hertzog Stadium occurred. Tonight, it's a return to normality of some sorts for the Lee Summit Tigers and the Oak Park Northmen. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. I'm Blake Heisey. Alongside me is Austin Boyer, my color commentator. I'm also joined by our co-producer, Lauren Berry, and Elaine McDonald and Elena Twinner on graphics. But tonight, enough about us. We are back, and we are so excited. Words can't explain how excited we are to have everyone back tonight. The students are here. COVID may still be lingering around. However, health department deemed it was safe enough to have a full capacity game tonight, so here we are. Austin, tonight, it's the Northmen and the Tigers. Northmen lead the all-time series 13-7. What do the Tigers need to do tonight on their side to pull out a W tonight?
Well, the Tigers haven't won a game here against the Northmen at home. They're 0-5 against them, so let's see if they can change that here tonight.
Yeah, and the Northmen been very successful here at Bud Hertzog Stadium. They've obviously, like we said, they're 13-7 against the Tigers. Let's see if that can change tonight from the Tiger side. But once again, let's move on. Last year, we implemented a new feature to our live streams. We brought in our very own Lauren Holdmeyer for sideline reporting. However, last year with COVID, it was all pre-recorded. This year, we are live on the field right now with Lauren Holdmeyer. Lauren, take it away.
Wait. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We are finally back at Bud Hertzog Stadium for Friday Night Lights. Tonight, the Lee Summit Tigers are hosting the Oak Park Northmen. This is just the second time the two teams will face off in the last 12 years. With me tonight, I have senior Loud Crowd captain Nick Beach. So Nick, how is having the Loud Crowd and student section back once again going to affect the team's overall dynamic?
Well, I think it's going to be really fun because they're excited to play in front of the fans finally, and I think they're just going to bring a lot more energy to the players and the crowd, clearly.
Absolutely. And what are your predictions for the game tonight and the rest of the season?
Honestly, last year was a close game, so I think it's going to be another close game, a fun game, but I see us winning by a touchdown or two, 28-35.
Okay.
And I think the season's going to go good this year.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Nick. This is Lauren Holdmeyer reporting for Tiger Broadcast. Back to you, Blake. Yeah, we're good.
Thank you, Lauren. It's always good to go to Lauren live now. New equipment. We are just about set to get kicked off here. A new beginning for these two teams. The student section's back. We know we're going to hear the I Believe chant any moment now. Northmen are going to be kicking off in their whites from right to left. The Tigers in their black and gold. You can feel the excitement. It's been, like we said, just about 2 years since we've had an experience like this. Austin, I know you're excited as well.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. It's a new season. Let's see what these boys got for us. It'll be a show tonight.
Of course. Here we go. A new season, and we are underway from Lee Summit. And it's going to be a touchback in the end zone. Starting at QB tonight for the Tigers, it's going to be Tino Martinez. His real name is Elijah. He likes to go by Tino. It comes from the last name. He's a junior. He's a very athletic guy. You're going to see him scramble quite a bit. And this Oak Park defense, they're experienced. Or I should say they're not experienced. They're only returning 3 starters from the previous season. However, they're matched up against the Tigers offense that's returning just 2. So, Austin, we're just about set to get a normal play football going.
We are. And let's see how that Northman defense matches up against the unexperienced Tigers offense as well. It'll be a good matchup here tonight.
like it's going to be it was a jet sweep. I couldn't quite see from up here who actually took the ball. It's going to be number 5, Josh Manning, on that carry. And he gained 2 yards, so it's going to be 2nd down and 8. And the Tigers, one of the things Coach Thomas was talking about on the 810 podcast before the season started was, we weren't sure about how the O-line was going to hold up. We're about to see how that holds up tonight, but that's one thing to keep in mind. Snap to Martinez, and we have a flag on the play. And we're awaiting what that call is going to be. And it's going to be on the Tigers, a false start. Not sure who exactly it was on, but I do see Max Weisner lined up in the slot. Tell us a little bit about Max Weisner, Austin.
Max Weisner, he's a slot receiver. He's a tight end. He's committed to Missouri. Big dude. Tough to guard him. Let's see what he can do tonight.
Yeah, in my football days on the middle school team, whenever I played against him, I gave all my effort, but it was to get out of the way, not to actually mess with him. And Martinez scrambles, and he is brought down almost instantly. A new linebacker core for Oak Park, but they've been looking good so far. And after penalties, it's going to be 3rd down and 18. Long ways to go for the Tigers. What can they pull out of their back pocket here?
Yeah, it looks like these Tigers are a little bit disjointed in this first down, and I feel like if they can get that set, it'll be fine, but they got to figure out a way to get that energy back and get that momentum back.
Growing pains, just like we have right here at Lee Summit High School with all the construction. Martinez to the left. It is caught by Alex Benassi. And if you want to know a Mr. Do-It-All, it's Alex Benassi. Won all conference last year as a punter, and there he is going up to get the ball. It's a great catch, and it's going to be a first down. Or I'm sorry, it's going to be just short of a first down for the Tigers. It's going to be 4th down and 8. So not a little just short. It looks like my metrics were just a little off there. And speaking of Alex Benassi, like we just mentioned him in the punting department, looks like that's what he's going to do here, barring a fake punt. I personally wouldn't go that route. I don't think you would either, Austin. And Benassi does indeed punt it deep. And it's going to be fair caught by Aiden Hinkle at the 43-yard line. That's where Oak Park will take over. And this Oak Park offense, we spoke earlier how they are actually very experienced, to say the least. They are returning 8 starters, Austin. I mean, that is quite a bit, and they look big, and they look like they mean business. Remember, last year, the Tigers and the Northmen faced off in the first game of the season. It was at Oak Park at their activity center. Lee Summit, from a miracle, basically, of a Tommy Locke come-from-behind victory, the Tigers edged out a 34-33 win to start the season, and I know the Northmen remember that, as that ball, I believe, yes, it was caught by number 1, Marion Gant Jr.
That's a little preview of the Northmen offense today. A lot of passing is going to be involved since they got a veteran QB, veteran O-line. Let's see what they can do here tonight.
Yeah, you said it best. See Northmen looking like they have 2 on both sides of the ball. And that's going to be an incomplete pass. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, smart to get that one out. The Tiger D-line was getting on him quick there, so it was nice, smart of him to get that out.
Yeah, great pressure from the Tigers there. They are experienced on the defensive side of the ball, returning 5 starters. They did lose a huge bulk of seniors last year, however. But for Oak Park, it looks like it's going to be their senior Ty Clemens. You know, at quarterback, he was the starter last year. He's a returner, so he's got plenty of experience. It's going to be a handoff, and I believe, that's going to be awfully close. It was 3rd down and 4. I believe, no, they are not moving the change. It's going to be 4th down and 2, and it's about to get loud in this building.
Yeah, let's see some more of that pass offense by the Northmen here. See what they can do.
Clemens looking over to the sideline, wondering, are we actually going for this?
Yeah, it looks like Clemens is trying to get the Tiger D-line to jump off side to get a free 5 yards, but they're not going to. They're going to hand it off.
4th down and 2. It's an option, and the Tigers had him in the backfield, but I believe Keandre Braxton, the running back, was able to scratch out a few extra yards after contact. Are they going to move the chains? Yes, they are. There's the 1st down signal from the referee. Also, bear with us here a little bit. We're experiencing a few technical difficulties at the moment.
Yeah, it's a great job by Braxton there to keep going after he got tackled. Just kept going, make sure to get those 2 extra yards and got the 1st down.
Here's Braxton again on the carry, and he's going to pick up another 3 or 4. It looks like just from what we've seen so far, the Northmen probably prepared their running game a little more than the passing game. We remember the Tigers' run defense last year was a little bit subpar. I remember a specific game. It was the Tigers versus Raytown here in about mid-October, and both teams basically ran the ball the entire game, and the score was in the 40s. Neither team could really stop each other on the run. Here's Oak Park after getting a little refresher playing the Tigers last year after not playing them for 11 years. Here's Clemens, steps back and pressure. It's going to be caught. It's Xavier Williams, and he's going to get into the red zone, brought down at about the 18-yard line.
Very well executed screen there by the Northmen. Got a bunch of linemen over there to block for him, and it ended up turning out good for him.
Yeah, and the Tigers, I mean, there's a positive takeaway from that. They seemed to get to Clemens really quick there. They had about 2 or 3 guys. I don't know if that was by design for a few offensive linemen to pop out before they were deemed ineligible. Regardless, good draw and play for the Northmen, and they're in striking distance. That's a lob ball to the end zone, and it's going to be caught for a touchdown. But number 8, Xavier Williams.
Yeah, that's a great play right there. Get it to your tall guy. That's what they teach you when you're in the red zone.
And pardon me, it wasn't Xavier Williams. It was Churchill Coates, a sophomore. At 6 foot, I mean, that's a great catch by a great young man. And here the Northmen go. They, like we said, they did not take last year's game very easily. 34-33 loss on the first game of the season is obviously not an ideal way to start the season. Looks like the kicker for the Northmen is going to be Elijah Davis, a senior at 5'9", 190. Kicks and punts. Snap the hold. And the kick is no good.
Looked like that hold was a little off there. Laces were faced towards the ball, making it go really A-wire wherever it wanted to.
Yeah, and an unnecessary history lesson for our viewers at home. Austin Boyer next to me, his dad, Wayne Boyer, did make it to the NFL at one point kicking.
Did.
And so he knows all about that. Austin's dad knows all about that. But here we are once again. Tigers, I mean, last year, except for the game against Lee Summit West, their second game of the season, the Tigers actually saw themselves down first quite a bit last year. However, they were able to stay in the game almost the entire game, at the majority of those games. They were a team last year. They finished 2-8, but about 4 of those games were within 1 score or less. So it's up for the Tigers. It's anyone's ball game still, obviously. We have, looks like 8:04 to go in the first quarter. And that loud crowd of the Tigers, the student section, kind of got silenced by that last quick drive for the Northmen.
They did. And the key thing for the Tigers here tonight is to make sure they have that energy at high the whole time. If they get low on that energy, their play will go down, and they got to keep that up to keep this Northman team in line.
It's going to be another touchback for the Tigers. They'll take over at their own 20. And worth noting, a few coaching changes this year for the Tigers. Matt Sisk came up from the middle school team to become a coach on the Tigers team. That Tigers coaching staff is in the coaching box next to us, up in our brand new broadcast booth up here. And so if you're Coach Thomas in that huddle right now, as you're seeing on your screen, I'm looking at Jalen Johnson, and I'm saying, okay, they just ran it down our throats. We're going to run it down your throat. That is, Eric Thomas, coach for the Tigers, loves to play tough football, and exactly last year is what that's exactly what they want to do. Obviously, you have a couple talented wideouts, Alex Benassi, JT Belt, Jeffrey Johnson, but other than that, I mean, Jalen Johnson is, in my opinion, one of their most valuable players, if not their most valuable player on offense. He's a bull. He's a force to be reckoned with, and you don't want to bring him down because, trust me, he's going to leave a bruise on your shoulder pad.
He reminds me of the Northmen running back, too, Braxton. He's big and small just like him. He can break a few tackles and get a few extra yards. Let's see what he can do on this drive here.
Tino Martinez back out for the Tigers. Jalen Johnson behind him. Tigers looking a little run heavy in this formation, but I could be wrong. We're about to find out. 1st and 10 from their own 20. It's a fake sweep, and there's Johnson. I mean, we just talked about him. You know, he's tough to bring down, and I mean, that shows right there. He was basically met at the line of scrimmage and was able to pick up 3 or 4 yards.
Right, that's going to be a key for the Tigers tonight to make sure to get those extra yards so they can open up those passing plays a little more.
He officially gained 3 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 from the Tigers' own 23-yard line. Martinez in the pocket. He's lobbing it deep, and it is just out of reach from Josh Manning. Josh Manning, 6'1", 175. He's a big guy. It doesn't surprise me why he's on the outside, an outside receiver rather than a slot. Looks like I see JT Belt, Alex Benassi coming on for the Tigers. They're joined by Devin Andrews. And it's once again 3rd down for the Tigers. And if they fail to get a 1st down here, I mean, you're basically in, you are in punting territory. So they'd have to give the ball right back to the Northmen, whose offense seemed to fare pretty easy to get a touchdown. It's a fake play. Martinez takes off. We talked about this before the game. He's going to get free. Martinez is going to break free at the 20. Martinez all the way home for a touchdown. Tie ball game.
We talked about it before the game. We cannot emphasize it enough. Martinez's legs are absolutely insane, and we saw it on that play right there.
We said before the game he was an athletic guy. The entire Tiger team meets him in the corner of the end zone. And talk about a flip of a script. All of a sudden, the Tigers are going to be kicking here for the lead. Just a second ago, we were talking about how they could be in trouble. Tino Martinez must have heard us.
I'm up good.
The kick is up, and the kick is good. And there is a penalty flag on the field. And I would have assumed that it could have been for celebration on the last play, but that flag actually just came down, so it's not that. Tigers might have to kick again. It's a little confusion going on right now. And we still don't even know the signal up here in the booth. It's on the Tigers. They're going to have to kick again.
Illegal hands to the face against the Tigers.
And if you can hear the PA announcer, Jim Melody, illegal hands to the face on the Tigers, so they will have to retry that PAT. Holder is number 8, Quinn Martin. Kicking is number 25, Rowan McCarthy, class of 2024. And this is a botched play, it seems. I don't see any flags down on the play. On the retry, the Tigers are unsuccessful, and this game is going to stay tied at 6. And that is a killer for the Tigers. It's not tragic by any means. But obviously, you'd like to have the lead early on in the game with 7:02 remaining in the first quarter. And I'll tell you, it's been a long 5 minutes. It doesn't feel like it's been 5 minutes off that clock.
That touchdown run by Martinez is going to put some in the minds of the Northmen defense here. Back off, put a QB spy on him maybe, which is going to open up the passing, open up the running game for Jalen, see what they're going to do here in the future.
I mean, if I'm Coach Thomas, after seeing my quarterback run for a 77-yard touchdown, you know, I'm doing more option plays immediately. When you have someone like Jalen Johnson and him in the backfield together, you can do some creative things with that. And
oh, yes.
I expect to see that, and Oak Park probably knows they will see that as this game goes on. But up here in the broadcast booth, we're suffering just a little bit from this heat. We got multiple fans going on. Everyone in our crew up here trying to stay cool. It's a very hot day up here in the booth, as well as outside. Petition for us to get AC in the new press box, but that's not up to us. Tigers will kick off, and here we go once again, back in play. It's taken from the Northmen 1 yard line, and this could be trouble for the Tigers. It's going to be returned all the way to the 35-yard line. Marlon Gant on the return, about 34-yard return.
That's going to be some good field position for this Northman team. Start off with a few run plays, maybe go to a pass in the future.
Yeah, the Northmen, they actually at first were run heavy on their last set of downs on their last drive, but here they are this time. They were successful on a few passing plays. They obviously passed for an 18-yard touchdown on their last play of the drive. So let's see here. It's probably going to be a little balanced. Clemens obviously still in at QB. He's going to be who we're going to see all night, barring an injury. Short pass is caught by number 1, Gant Jr. once again. He's making his name heard on the PA system quite a bit early on.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of those slants today in this game. Mainly caught by Gant Jr.
Second down and 4 for the Northmen. Lemon steps back. He throws to the sideline, and it is caught. Inbounds. Bubba Bogart on the reception. He's a 6'2" senior. First down and 10. We've seen 2 pass plays so far for the Northmen. Will we see another? Northmen seeming to slow down a little bit here. 6:03 remaining in the first quarter. We're about halfway through. It's going to be a play action pass to the outside, and the Tigers do a pretty decent job of getting that out of there. Marlon Gant once again, and he picked up a few yards, I believe. Picked up 5.
Yeah, it's already 2 screens by this Northman offense. Maybe put something in the Tigers' heads how to cover that, because they've been getting some success off of those.
Yeah, oftentimes at the high school level, the teams that can do the really big things like throw 60-yard touchdowns, they aren't as successful as the teams that can do the little things, such as in this case for passing, slant, play action, screens. That's all we've really seen from the Northmen so far. We've seen one fade route that did result in a touchdown. But here we are again with a screen pass, and this one is successful. And that ball came out at the end of the play, but he's already marked down. Bogart gets a first down for the Northmen. And I will say Ty Clemens, the QB right now for Oak Park, looks pretty good, Austin.
Right, he hasn't misthrown any balls quite yet, and he's looking pretty good. Finding all of his receivers are on the same page and everything. So this offense has been looking pretty strong in this first quarter.
Clemens throws one deep, and that's going to be incomplete.
And that's Clemens' first real overthrow of the game. We haven't seen him miss many of those throws quite yet. This is really our first one.
Was that his first incomplete pass, too? I mean, I don't know.
Possibly.
I've lost track.
I don't remember him throwing an incomplete pass quite yet.
He's had about 8 pass attempts around there, and that may have been his first one. Correct us if you will, if we are wrong, but here we go. 4:42 remaining in the first quarter. Second down and 10 for the Northmen, knocking on the Tigers' door just outside the red zone. And that Tigers are all over that one. A halfback toss, and that got absolutely nowhere. The Northmen lost yards on that play. Travis held with the tackle. It's going to be 3rd down and 14.
I will say the Tigers looked like they were expecting a run play there. not specifically to the outside, but it looked like they were really ready for that.
Yeah, the Tigers were all over that one. I mean, as talented as a running back as he was not going to get out of there. And this is another slant over the middle. A penalty flag flies in at the very end of the play.
Clement's pass is caught by number 1, Marlon Gant.
And once again, it's Gant Jr.
Forced out of bounds by number 18, Jeffrey Johnson.
We're awaiting the call on the penalty. It came in once again at the very end of the play. And the referees will discuss, and the Northmen are beginning to walk back, and it is going to be on them. It's going to be a holding call, which will bump them back and negate the first down. We're going to do third down all over again.
And you can see another slant there by Gant Jr., really making a name for himself early in this first quarter.
Absolutely, and obviously Clemens and Gant are probably the two people that you've heard the most, heard names called the most so far in this one. Gant, obviously the returner. Now Clemens is obviously stepping back in about every single scenario. We've seen one run play on this drive, and it was a toss, so it wasn't even a true run play. But Keandre Braxton, I'm assuming here, he's in the backfield, but I'm assuming he's going to go up and help the O-line block. Tigers blitzing their outside linebackers. It's knocked down and almost picked off, but just knocked down. So good play by the Tigers, and look who it was. Mizzou commit Max Wisner. Do you see why he's committed to a Division I SEC school?
Yeah, I mean, there was another screen play there by the Northmen that just got completely blown up. The first time you saw that from them today.
Yeah, Northmen been pretty successful on all that little stuff, and Max Wisner was done. Yeah, he said absolutely not. For the Northmen here, they have a few options. They could, kick a field goal that would be about 44 yards, or they can go for it on 4th down and 8, and that's exactly, it looks like, what they're going to do. Clemens takes the snap and drops back. He fires it over the middle. It's tipped in the air, and it's intercepted by the Tigers. It's number 12, Xander Hall, and he's going to be brought down at his own 29-yard line.
First major mistake tonight by the Northmen receiving corps. Not many dropped passes by them, but the first one tonight, the Tigers have capitalized on.
It went right off his helmet, bounced straight up, and Hall was right there to pick it off. This Tigers defense looking good so far. Improvement from the last drive. And here comes Tino Martinez and his offense once again.
See if the Tigers can build on that successful drive they had a few minutes ago in the first quarter. Put some thoughts in the Northmen defense head about what could be coming for them.
Tigers send a man in motion. It's a handoff, and looks like he's going to be brought down after just a few yards. Josh Manning, that was. 3 minutes about remaining in the first quarter. And I'm just waiting for Max Wisner to make an impact on offense as well.
It's only a matter of time with his size and his agility to get open is what really sets him apart from all the other receivers here.
And one of our old broadcasters, Jordan Wood, called Landon Shepard out there Mr. Consistent. Watch for him, too. The Tigers are running 2 tight ends right now. Martinez having to scramble to stay alive. He does. What a job by him. He lays it off. It's caught. And no, they're going to say it did hit the ground. Crowd is cheering. They don't realize it hasn't counted yet. And the Tigers are going to be at 3rd down and 6. And the crowd just now realizing because of the PA announcer that pass was indeed incomplete and that it did hit the ground. I'll be honest, I thought it did from up here as well. The officials have the best eyes. They're right there, so.
Yeah, disregarding the bad pass, that was a great play by Martinez there. To get out of a sack and to actually find a man was incredible.
Yeah, talk about the elusiveness from Martinez there. That's exactly what you want to see from a speed quarterback, so to say. 3rd down and 6. The Tigers on their own side of the field trying to get up the field. They're going to throw it deep. A little confusion. And it's going to be incomplete, just out of reach from Manning. There is a penalty flag on the field near where Martinez was hit. And it's going to be on the Northmen. Tigers will get another shot. And it was what we figured, roughing the passer. I believe that's an automatic first down.
Yeah, we can already see the impact Josh Manning is going to make on this game. 2 streaks he just was barely long on, and another one from the first drive that could really help this team get another touchdown.
15-yard penalty, as you heard. It's a first down for the Tigers, new life. They're going to be up to their own 48-yard line. See what they choose to do here. Safe bet would be to hand it off to Johnson, but their receivers look ready to go. And it's another option, I believe. Martinez, Northman trying to bring him down, and he is finally flipped. It looks like he lost the football. He's ruled down. And all sorts of flags flying around now. Saw about 3 or 4 all land on the Tiger head at midfield. A little bit of a tussle after the play. I'm not sure. I wasn't exactly looking right there.
Looks like the contact on Martinez is what initiated it. Big fall on his head there. Could have been a lot worse than it actually was.
Yeah, nowadays, we're so protective over people's heads. We have the new technology with helmets, making sure that, players don't get concussions. Did look like a little bit of a rough fall on Martinez's head. He doesn't look like he's too phased. It is going to be a personal foul against the Northmen. I believe that was after the play. I didn't see any flags fly until significantly after the whistle was blown. That's going to get the Tigers another first down. Pending to see how far they move up the field. And the Tigers are going to march pretty far, it looks like. The claps start to come in from the new grandstands here at Bud Hertzog Stadium. If you haven't been out to Bud Hertzog Stadium lately or drove by, it is a completely new place. New press box, new stands, new concession stand. I mean, it's pretty great out here. It's a growing process for us students here at Lee Summit High School, but obviously in about 3 or 4 years when everything's done, it's going to look great. Tigers, after that penalty, are up to the Northman 33-yard line.
See if this Tiger offense can find Max Weisner a little more. He's been pretty quiet so far this first quarter.
Yeah, Weisner making a huge impact on the defensive end, wreaking havoc for Clemens, their quarterback. Here he is on offense. And Martinez is going to take off again. It's going to be a foot race, and there's going to be a flag. I saw it myself. It's going to be a block in the back on Landon Shepard, it appears. Came in right at the end of the play. And that is going to basically negate that entire run by Martinez. It's going to be a block in the back on the Tigers. There it is. It's going to send them back. Another great run from Martinez. What a weapon that is to have.
Right, bit of a lucky break there for the Northmen. It looked like Martinez was in the clear there. Maybe one defender to go towards the end zone, but
the Tigers did actually move up in high school. It only moves you back a few yards, so it didn't negate the entire play as it would in college ball or the NFL. It's still a first down. It's still a great run by Tino Martinez. And out comes Jalen Johnson, and in the red zone, I don't know if you want to touch that guy. You're going to get some sort of bruise on you. I mean, seriously.
I mean, a bruise is the least that can happen in all reality.
I mean, seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if he broke a guy's collarbone. That guy is vicious on the ball, and that's exactly the position he needs to be at. Martinez scrambling, and he gets rid of it. It's going to be an incomplete pass. And as I was talking about Johnson, he actually got a key block and Looks like it's going to be intentional grounding on Martinez. And in case any of you are double watching sports in the KC area right now, the Chiefs and the Vikings at the end of the first quarter, it's 7-3 Chiefs, 7-3. Obviously, most of us are Chiefs fans here. But back to this game, it's going to be second down and 26. So what will Martinez pull out of his pocket here? He's been kind of the star of the Tigers offense to begin with. It's a handoff to Johnson. It's not going to go anywhere.
Devin Andrews with the carry.
Or sorry, Devin Andrews is who is handed off to.
Tackle by number 3, Paul Hernandez.
Paul Hernandez brought him down. It's going to be 3rd and long for the Tigers. They're a little bit out of field goal range, it would appear, at the high school level. So, I mean, I'm not the coach, but maybe draw up a play for a tight end, slant over the middle, post route. We're about to find out what Coach Thomas decides on. Manning in motion. Martinez takes the snap and rolls left. He's going to throw it deep to the end zone. Right before the end zone, it looks like, and it's incomplete. Tigers are going to be facing 4th and 26.
It looks like Belt was wide open on that play. Don't think Martinez saw him because he was wide open running towards the end zone. That could have been a touchdown there.
Yeah, in that case, all you can do if you're Belt is scream as loud as you possibly can and hope the ball comes your way. Martinez tried to hurl it over there, and the Tigers are going to punt with Alex Benassi here. And Alex Benassi last year, he was a guy that it seems like every time his foot touched the ball, it ended up within 5 yards of the end zone. It's no surprise he won all-conference punter. And the Northmen are actually going to take a timeout. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Gear up at a
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state. The Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more.
Welcome back to Bud Hertzog Stadium. 49 seconds remaining in the quarter, and a little confusion, whistles blow before the play even began. And the Northmen are going to take a second consecutive timeout. Obviously a lot of confusion going on the away sideline. And we're going to take one more quick break. We will be back in just a moment.
When it comes to painting the exterior or interior of your home, the decision is easy. Unique Painting, voted best in the Northland for 2 years running in 2018 and 2019. Unique Painting focuses on customers' needs and offers competitive pricing, going the extra mile to make sure customers are completely satisfied. In fact, when 810 Varsity needed a paint job this year, Unique Painting was the only phone call made. Visit anytime at uniquepaintingkc.com or call today at 816-500-7759. That's uniquepaintingkc.com, a proud supporter of 810 Varsity and Metro High School athletics.
Welcome back to Bud Hertzog Stadium. Tigers at first rolled out in punt formation. They rolled back out like they were going to go for it, and it looks like the final decision is that they will go for it, pending a third timeout called from the Northmen. The snap is to Martinez. He's evading pressure. He throws it to the end zone, and I believe that should be pass interference. We're not going to get a flag. I saw bodies fly everywhere. It might have not been pass interference. Maybe I sound dumb. certainly lots of pleads for pass interference.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a turnover on downs. The Northmen are going to take over at the 29-yard line. It was hectic on that play. I mean, we had officials falling over. We had players falling over. But at the end of the day, Northmen take over with 42 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Couldn't tell if that ball was out of reach for the receiver or the referee just fell down and did not see it. But it looked like that could have been pass interference. Looked like that cornerback had a trip on the Tigers wide receiver there.
Looks like we're not back ready to play yet. Coach Thomas still arguing that call on the sideline. He's probably not going to get anywhere with it. I mean, players are back on the field in their respective positions in terms of offense and defense. And, you know, obviously as a coach, you know you're not going to get anywhere with that, but he obviously wants to stand up for his players, so props to Coach Thomas for that. But here we are. The snap, and it's a handoff to the outside. And the Northmen are going to pick up about 6. And guess who it was? Marlon Gant, once again. Seems like a one-man offense, not going to lie. I mean, they do have 8 returning starters, but, I mean, Gant's been their go-to guy. It's Clemens handed it off to Gant. Clemens passing it to Gant. I mean, it's all over the place. And the Tigers, looks like Clemens with that hard count got the Tigers to jump. I believe it was Osahan Ogbevin.
Offsides against the Tigers.
And it's going to be, looks like, I believe it's a first down. It is. The chain gang was just a little behind. It's going to delay the game a little more. Clock stopped at 7.9 seconds.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Northmen do on this play.
It's going to be a handoff, and Jalen Johnson can do it on defense as well. He's all over that. I believe it's a loss of 1, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Tigers 6, Northmen 6. Full capacity is back at Bud Hertzog Stadium. We're going to take another quick break, and we're going to be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Whether we're rising to meet a moment or the moment comes to meet us, we make our mark by showing up for our team. And when we do, we build something special. We become something bigger, more than something that can be defined on a map. We become a community with a shared understanding that when we rise together, we rise higher. Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state. The Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more.
Welcome back to Bud Hertzog Stadium. It's the Northmen at 2nd down and 11. It's going to be a handoff to Braxton. He's met at the line, but he gets a few yards after contact and picks up about 5.
Those big quads that gets him through all those defenders and gets him to those extra few yards.
Yeah, 2 very powerful backs on both sides of the ball tonight. You have Jalen Johnson for the Tigers, Braxton for the Northmen. We predicted it'd be a game of running. It's been a pretty balanced game so far. 2 early scores. We haven't seen much offense since, and it's 3rd down and 7 for the Northmen. It's a play action. That play is blown up, and a flag comes in.
Pass incomplete, penalty flag is thrown.
I believe they're going to say the D-back for the Tigers got there a little early. It seemed almost instantaneous, the hit to whenever the ball got to the receiver. And that was number 12, Xander Hall.
Curious as to why the Northmen have been shading away from the passing game. I mean, you see this drive, they've been more run-heavy than the last two, and this drive they haven't been as successful as the others.
The flag was indeed picked up, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 7. Punt unit on the way out for the Northmen. Looks like Devin Andrews. It's a blown up play, the snap, and oh, this is just trouble for the Northmen. The Tigers are going to bring them down at their own 2-yard line. I don't even know what just happened. I wasn't even watching the play. I wasn't expecting that. But all of a sudden, the Tigers are going to take over from the 2-yard line, Austin. I mean, first and goal, and the Tigers are likely going to get a touchdown here, considering Jalen Johnson is the running back.
Right, looks like that's the break the Tigers needed there. Get a golden opportunity to score and put 6 more points on the board here early in the second quarter.
Like you said, a golden opportunity. You almost have to take advantage of this. Well, you do have to take advantage of this. If you're the Tigers, give it to Jalen Johnson, let him do his work, and that's exactly what it looks like they're going to do. I can't imagine they do anything else. It is a handoff to Johnson. There he goes. He will not be denied. It's a touchdown, and the Tigers gain the lead for the first time tonight.
Yep, you saw that play coming from a mile away. All the big guys in on the offensive line and Jalen Johnson in the backfield. There's only one thing that can happen there.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson, whenever he has that many blockers, I mean, it is a piece of work to bring that man down. Northmen unsuccessful, just as I would be. I'm not going to dog on the Northmen. Tigers will kick for the PAT. They were successful their last time. However, penalty flag brought that back, and then they were unsuccessful on the second try. Tigers are actually going for 2 here. Martinez is going to scramble to the outside. He's going to make a move. Did he break the plane? He did. And just like that, missing the PAT in the first drive doesn't matter as much. 14-6, we ended up in the exact same place we would have.
Yeah, a little reverse psychology there from the Tigers.
With the ball, he's probably already 5 yards past you. If it's Johnson, he's coming right at you like a bull, and you're probably about to get, ran over. So Tigers definitely, their run game so far has been their dominant force. They will kick off once again with 11:08 remaining in the first half.
You can't forget about Max Weisner, the Mizzou commit, on that list of threats either in the Tiger offense. He hasn't done much this game, but I'm sure we'll see him a little later in the game.
Yeah, the Tigers have a really good opportunity to get really creative this year, considering they have 2 tight ends in Landon Shepard and Max Weisner, 2 guys who are both going to play at the collegiate level. And that kick's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. Northmen will take over at their own 20-yard line.
First and 10 for the Northmen from the 20-yard line.
And as you look around the stadium, you Tigerettes who actually have to dance out there, and obviously the players playing the game we're commentating right now. I can only imagine how hot it is for them.
There is a little bit of a breeze coming from the north down to the south, but other than that, it's been pretty hot.
Up here in the booth. Calms things down.
That wind up there is way, way more impactful on the ball than you think it is down the field.
And look at that piece of defense from the Tigers. Not giving up.
With the carry, tackle by number 18, Jeffrey Johnson.
Jeffrey Johnson just would not let that guy go.
Yeah, it looks like the Tiger defense has finally figured out this Northmen offense and how they operate as a team.
snap to Clemens. He rolls right, throws it to his running back Braxton, and it's another tackle by Jeffrey Johnson.
It's
short of the first down.
Great tackle by Johnson there, especially on someone that short and that big. To be able to keep on, hold on, and bring him to the ground is very impressive.
Yeah, Johnson also, plays baseball for the school. They mentioned on his senior night speech before the game, he broke the record last year for most hit by pitches. So he's a guy that he's not afraid of getting hit by anything, especially if he's getting hit by 80-mile-per-hour fastballs every other day. As someone who went to the baseball games to cover them, I will tell you that he did indeed get hit almost every single game. In their district championship, he got hit 3 times. So, yeah. Tigers are going to take a timeout with 9:48 remaining in the half. We're trying to stay cool up here, like I said. But the last full capacity game to happen in this stadium was October 25th of 2019. Austin and I were sophomores. We're now seniors. That game was a Tiger victory, 56-6 over Truman. Across the field, you can see the old press box. That's where we were. We're in the new one right now. So a lot of things have changed. Obviously, there's been a global pandemic since then. But here we are tonight, and it is so good to see everyone back in the stands.
Yeah, it's great. The atmosphere is electric. The student section is filled up. Almost every seat's taken in the bleachers or the home stands here. And it's been getting loud at some points here in the game, which I really like to see.
400, and that seemed like we had a lot of people tonight. We haven't got the official number yet. Whenever we do, if that happens while we're live, we'll for sure let you know. But back on the field, it's a 3rd and short, 3 yards to gain. Clemens is getting swarmed, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield.
Yeah, looks like Clemens was focused on one receiver there. He was not open. Great marking there by the Tiger cornerbacks, and he ended up getting sacked for a 4th down.
Yeah, Jimmy McGovern, as well as the other outside linebacker, I couldn't tell who it was. They just collapsed that pocket almost instantaneously, and Oak Park's going to be forced to punt. They lost a significant amount of yards. 4th and 10, it looks like. And hopefully the snap is good for them. This time it is, and the punt gets away safely. Fair catch is called for. Tigers get out of the way, and it's going to bounce back to around the 43-yard line of the Northmen.
Yep, there's that wind again, making a big impact on that punt going up in the air. Probably carried it back around 10 yards or so, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, they got a really unlucky bounce there, and the Tigers with a huge opportunity to extend this game. And if you just heard the PA announcer, water break on the field as needed. We're going to take a quick break once again. We will be back in just a moment.
Gear up at Academy Sports and Outdoors. It's back to school time, and at Academy, your favorite brands are all in play. Like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Crocs, Puma, and the North Face. Bring on the fun and get out there. Whether you're playing for the home team or perfecting your game at home, at Academy, we'll bring the fun to you. Buy online and pick up curbside or in-store and get free shipping on orders over $25.
Gear up at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
It just fell out of the hands of Manning. Could have been a huge gain for the Tigers. It was good coverage by the Northmen. I believe it was Adriano Garcia, one of the returning players on that defense.
That will not be the last time you see Josh Manning run one of those deep routes this game. He's already gone on a few of those, and he'll definitely go on some more in the offensive half of this field.
And I believe movement up front for the Tigers. They're going to walk back 5 yards. False start is what we believed.
To cool down, we're getting some fresh air into the press box. It's looking to be a great night of football.
Hopefully it will cool down. And Martinez, a little scare there, drops the snap. Manning comes back on a hitch route. And he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. It looks like there is a flag on the far side of the field away from the play. And oftentimes then, something like a hold. We'll see if that's the case here. It's, I believe, a legal formation on the Tigers, which would make sense because on the far side of the field they have the best view.
Procedure penalty against the Tigers.
The Tigers will walk back another 5. And I believe that's going to make it 2nd down and 20. Things. Hopefully the Tigers have a correct formation this time, but here we go. Martinez takes the snap, and he is met almost immediately, and he's going to dump it off to Manning, who he surely did not gain any yards. He either stayed at the line of scrimmage or lost a yard, so it's going to be a 3rd and long for the Tigers.
Just looks like the Tigers' offense this drive has been a little disjointed, a little out of connection with each other. Maybe they can figure that out on this down here, get a few extra yards, put themselves in a better position for Benassi to come on and punt this ball down close to the end zone.
Martinez drops back, pressure once again, and it is batted down quickly by the Northmen. Tigers will face 4th down. Punt formation rolls out. Alex Benassi will punt it away.
This wind here that I've been non-stop talking about, Benassi will probably get it down there pretty close. The punt returner might have to take a few steps back on this one, depending on how high it goes.
Yeah, earlier in soccer practice day that you and I were at, someone was able to kick a ball in the air about 60 yards. So,
yeah.
I mean, that wind is there. Like, you're not lying there. Good blocking for the Tigers and good snap. It's a fair catch, and it's cleanly caught just past the 15-yard line, and that's where the Northmen will take over.
Another punt, another Benassi punt inside the 20-yard line. I mean, he's been so consistent this year and last year by getting that ball down deep in the opposing team's own territory, and that's why he's been all conference at it.
Yeah, for sure. Alex Benassi is a guy you definitely want on your team. You know, him. You know, them being. He can basically do it all. We've been over that, multiple times. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but people like Alex Benassi is exactly who Coach Thomas is happy to have on his team and who he'll be looking to replace next year, considering Benassi's a senior. That's a pass that was just behind the Northmen receiver, which was number 4, Jordan Garner.
That was an incredible pass by the QB there, Clemens, but just a little behind him. I mean, cross body, it's not always going to be as accurate as you want it, but still a great effort to get that to his receiver.
And it's worth noting Clemens is throwing against the wind that we have been mentioning nonstop.
Right.
Could have messed up the pass just a little bit. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Pass is caught on the left side of the field, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Northmen.
You see the Northmen going back to their pass game. It's been working out a lot better for them than the last drive they've had.
1st and 10 for the Northmen.
Completely agree with you there. Northmen trying to get something going on offense. 7:48 remaining in the first half. Trying to get this game tied up. They are within 1 score. Clemens takes the snap. He's met almost immediately. He dumps it off to, I believe, Braxton.
Clemens pass is caught by number 8, Xavier Williams.
Sorry, it was Williams once again, and a penalty flag on the field.
Yeah, it looks like that was a block on the Northmen there. That was illegal, so they're going to be dropping back a few yards here.
Yeah, if you heard over the system, illegal block in the back is the word from the zebra stripes. Long 1st and 20 for the Northmen. Likely we'll see a pass play here. This would be a perfect time for one of their little screen plays where they dump it off to the side or a little slant over the middle. I'm sure we're going to see Gant involved in this play at some point. Clemens rolls to the right, and that pass is dropped out of bounds. It was actually a pretty good throw. Just slipped out of the hands of Bubba Bogart. Jeffrey Johnson in coverage, and it's going to bring up a long, it will be 2nd down. 2nd down and 20.
Yep, the Northmen need to go deep here. They need to go a deeper pass here. I mean, they've found success with that in the 1st quarter and the start of the 2nd quarter. If they shy away from that, they're not going to get anywhere with this Tiger defense. It's so stubborn against the run.
Tigers defense has definitely settled down after that, first drive. Another incomplete pass, and that will bring up 3rd down. And like we mentioned earlier, it's a long one. 3rd and 19. To be exact, they need to get to about the 39-yard line.
Yeah, strong 2nd quarter so far from this Tiger defense. And they look really good. They look like they know what they're doing now. They've adjusted to the game plan of the Northmen offense, and they've been looking really well.
Snapped Clemens, and he is just blown up immediately. What a hit. And it's Jalen Johnson. Are you surprised?
Yeah, that's going to leave a mark for a few days at least. He got hit like a truck.
I mean, Clemens didn't even have a chance, and that's not on him. That's on his offensive line. But about 3 Tigers immediately swarmed Clemens, and the Northmen, once again, off the field. It's a 3 and out.
As a quarterback, you don't like seeing some opposing defenders rush at you, let alone Jalen Johnson.
The punt is away. Tigers calling for a fair catch, and this time the Northmen get a fortunate bounce. It's going to roll all the way to the Tigers' 30-yard line.
That's a great punt there.
Looks like we got 6:38 remaining in the 1st quarter. I'm sorry, the 2nd quarter. And if you're the Tigers, I would try to just burn the clock as much as you possibly can. I'm okay with a field goal in this scenario. You go up 2 scores.
Right.
So I'd expect to see plenty of option plays from Martinez and whoever is in the backfield with him, whether that's Johnson or Andrews. And it looks like it's Andrews at the moment. Manning goes in motion. It's the option play we talked about. And Martinez scrambles for about 8 or so yards.
As I mentioned before, the Tigers have a little bit more slack since they obviously are with the win, like I've mentioned numerous times, and that can give their field goal kicker some more room to work with if he gets it up in the air.
Second and 3, picked up 7. I was close on my guesstimate. And that ball came out at the end of the play. It's a scramble for the football. Tigers keep possession. It was Andrews on the carry. It's going to be a 1st down for the Tigers. They avoid the scare. Now Martinez giving orders to his offensive line, who has been pretty good to him so far. Manning in motion for, again, and here goes Martinez on the outside, trying to get that outside corner. He does, and that's going to result in another 1st down. And the Tigers, it sounds like they can just, burn the clock out if you run scrambles, with Martinez, but Martinez gets a big chunk of yards almost every time, if not every time he runs the football. So, I mean, in that case, he gets out of bounds and the clock stops again, and you'll take it if you're the Tigers. You're not going to complain. It's just more than what you wanted to do, actually.
Right, and you can see how much potential this Tiger offense has. They have a quarterback that can run, a running back who can just break as many tackles as he wants, and a stellar wide receiving core along with Max Wisner as a tight end. So they have a lot of room to work with this offense.
Martinez is going to be brought down in the backfield. I may have jinxed him saying the offensive line was holding up so far. Every once in a while you let people slip in. Defensive line of Oak Park, 2 returners out of the 5. There was a penalty on Oak Park. It's going to move the Tigers up. It's going to negate that play. And it looks like it's going to stay first down.
Still 5.5 minutes left here in the second quarter. If the Tigers play it right, they can waste a lot more time than they are right now. Whether it be short passes, run plays with either the quarterback or Johnson, yeah, they can time manage this a lot better than they are right now.
Martinez rolls to the left. A mammoth of a block in the backfield, and a heave to the end zone is brought down. What a throw, what a catch. It's 6 points for the Tigers.
No, surprisingly enough, that was not Josh Manning. That was a great play to get open by the wide receiving core of the Tigers. Put a lot of pressure on that defense.
David Dossett was the one who brought it in. The flags that say LSHS are running on the track. The cannon fires, and here comes the kicking unit. A huge play in the grand scheme of things for the Tigers. And the kick is good. Really, so far for the Tigers, it's been big plays. I mentioned earlier how doing the little things can help you win football games more than the big things. We had a long run by Martinez and then a heave of a pass there from Martinez. He's making plays, and he's making big ones.
He is, and it looks like the Northmen defense on that last play was a little preoccupied with the run game, either by Martinez or Johnson. They kind of forgot about the wide receiving corner, how good they actually are, and it beat them in the long run.
And if you want a quick background of these two teams, if you're just tuning in, the Tigers finished 2-8 last year. They were eliminated by Ray-Pec in the first round of districts. It was a rough year, you know, with COVID and everything. They had players get quarantined a few times. They had, like we mentioned earlier, a lot of close ones, a lot of close games that they dropped. As for the Northmen, they finished 3-6. If you look on their schedule, it says they finished 3-7. That's because they unfortunately had their season last year ended due to COVID outbreak in their program. So they were unable to play their game. I believe they were slated to play North Kansas City in districts. Unfortunately, their season ended in a way that no one wants to see a season end. So this is actually their first game since that happening. And they came out at the very beginning of the game yard line, and apart from that first drive, Clemens and Gant have they've kind of been silenced by that Tigers defense. And I think a part of that is the Tigers D-line getting pressure on the quarterback very quickly.
And it's not just their D-line, it's also their secondary and their safeties being able to pick up those key guys for the Northmen.
A new start for the Northmen. It's not a must-score drive, obviously. Plenty of time to go in the game. 4:53 in the second quarter remains. But it's definitely a drive that they'd like to, get back more into this game. They're down 15, and a touchdown here, even though.
As much as it's not a necessity to score here, you really think it's vital for the Northmen to score here, because Tigers get the ball at half, who gets the ball at half? I don't remember, but Tigers looking good right now, and they got to score, or else the Tigers are just going to keep tacking it on. Like
you said, this game could get out of hand if Oak Park doesn't answer before halftime. You don't want to give the Tigers another opportunity. It's 2nd down and 6. This is a good run play for them. It's Braxton to the outside, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds around the 40-yard line.
Yeah, the agility of Braxton to get through those holes the line's making for him is really letting him get open and get some more yards.
It's a new set of downs for the Northmen near midfield. Their side of the stadium has been quite quiet since that original touchdown. It started to go downhill for them whenever they missed their PAT. It looked like the kick was actually too low, not that it missed wide. Clemens hands it off to Braxton, and look at that. Pushing his way. And we have 3:44 remaining until halftime.
Yeah, and if you need 2 or 3 yards for the Northmen, you know who to call.
Yeah, Braxton is just like Jalen Johnson for the Tigers, where, you know, he is a bull and he does not like to be brought down. Clemens steps back, heaves one to the outside, and it's brought in. What a catch. Wow. Xavier Williams. What a catch.
Yeah, you see he bobbled it there for a second, but that's great hand-eye coordination by Williams there to then refocus on the ball and grab it before he falls out of bounds. That's a huge play for the Northmen.
I mean, seriously, I mean, that's a huge play there. The Northmen are knocking on the door of the Tigers here. Clemens steps back, throws, and that one is going to be incomplete. A little miscommunication there, it appeared.
Yeah, you can see the Tigers got to the quarterback yet again, forcing another errant pass.
Yeah, once again, that pressure on Clemens, forcing him to make bad decisions. In that case, it was a good decision just to let it go, but obviously he's not getting a ton of help from that offensive line.
He is not.
It's a pitch to Braxton. He escapes, and he is going to break his way near the 1st down marker. About 10-yard rush.
Right when you think Braxton's going to get a tackle for loss there, he breaks out and ends up gaining a nice amount of yards there.
Tackled by number 26, Malachi Mitchell.
Time winding down, 2:43 now on the clock. And it looked like it was a bubble screen. It's going to be incomplete. It's going to force 2nd down for the Northmen.
That screen looked a bit out of whack there. You see all the ones they had in the first quarter. They were very good, very well organized. The lineman got over to the side where the receiver is getting the ball. But that one just looked like they started too soon, and the Tigers got there before the line did.
Yeah, the Tigers were pretty good to cover on that play. I remember last year they really stepped up their defense around the red zone. They were very efficient in that area. It's a handoff to Braxton. He's going to pick up about 4.
Braxton with the carry.
And that will bring up 3rd down and a manageable amount.
52.
Yeah, as they creep into the red zone here, let's see if they go to Braxton a few more times to wind down that clock. And it looks like they will here.
And when you're this close, if you're Oak Park, this is a huge 3rd down. It's 4-down territory this early in the game, in my opinion. They're going to hand it off to Braxton again. He's off to the races, and he is going to break the plane for a touchdown.
Yep, they called it. Braxton again with another great run, finding the gaps in the offensive line, and then ending up breaking through for the touchdown.
Keandre Braxton. You did indeed call it, Austin Boyer. I will give you credit. And I would say to go for 2 here if I was Oak Park, but you can go either way. and that's what they're going to do. They're going to keep Clemens on the field with his company. And honestly, a safe bet would be to hand it off to Braxton here, in my opinion, Austin.
Right. I mean, you just saw that last round. He was so explosive off that. They choose to pass it here.
And was that converted? It was. There was players jumping up. I couldn't quite see if the ball was actually hauled in. It was. The 2-point conversion is good. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Oak Park. Down to a 7-point game. Just before halftime, we have 1:59.
I mean, you can't get a better throw than that. Just over the cornerback and just in reach for the receiver to haul it in for the 2-point conversion. That's just what they needed.
Yeah, we've been fortunate enough tonight to see some really good throws from both Martinez and Clemens. Both quarterbacks putting on a show tonight, I would say. Clemens, very few incompletions, maybe 2 or 3. Martinez doing it all on the ground. And also one, about 45-yard touchdown in the air. It looks like it will be Manning back to return for the Tigers. It's going to be a few, actually. He's been one of the main people to bring the kicks back so far tonight. It's going to be brought in by Manning. Racing to the outside, he loses his footing, and he's going to be brought down just shy of the 30-yard line at the 29.
Now you got to wonder on this Tigers drive, are they going to go for a touchdown or are they going to go for a field goal? They're inside the 2-minute warning, so let's see what they do.
I mean, with the way they've been efficient on offense since their first drive, I would bet that they're going to keep doing basically what they did last drive and use Martinez's legs to their supreme advantage. I mean, he's been all over the place. We've yet to see Landon Shepard haul one in tonight. Max Weisner's been a little quiet as well, but he also has been a crucial part of the blocking process. So has Landon Shepard. And let's see what Martinez can do here with 1:59 on the clock. He rolls out to the right. Look at this, he's going back across field to the left. And he's hit in the helmet when he gets to the ground. No flags come down. That was a potential penalty, and there is one that just came flying in. Austin, I know you were looking for that too.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was a little late, up near the neck, head area. He was already getting brought down, no need for that tackle.
Yeah, that'll be a late hit, and we have an Oak Park man down. And I can't quite see who that is just yet. He's kind of surrounded by the training staff. We have 1:36 remaining in the half. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Whether we're rising to meet a moment or the moment comes to meet us, we make our mark by showing up for our team. And when we do, we build something special. We become something bigger, more than something that can be defined on a map. We become a community with a shared understanding that when we rise together, we rise higher. Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
Welcome back to Bud Hertzog Stadium. Looks like the Northman, I should say, that was down, is back up. Looks like it's number 73, Jordan Harmon, and the crowd gives him a little bit of a round of applause. Hope he's okay. We'll see if Lauren Holdmeyer can find anything out about that. And back to the game. It's going to be, should be a first down for the Tigers. It was a late hit. I don't think that's formally been announced yet. I think they could possibly still be talking about that on the field.
Does look like it was a late hit, though. I mean, all the signs, he was already falling to the ground, plus the helmet-to-helmet contact there. It should be a flag, and it should be a new first down for the Tigers.
I mean, it's a textbook late hit, and nowadays in the game of football, we see it at all levels. They really try to protect the quarterbacks, and they try to protect every player's head. PA announcer correctly, the penalty was on the Tigers. I'm not sure where that came from. It probably was for some sort of action after the play. But it is a penalty on the Tigers. We were just talking about how that's a textbook hit to the head. Even, regardless how hard he was hitting the head. And if you want a score update from across town, Lee Summit North winning at halftime, 28-0 versus Blue Spring South. It's going to be a run in the backfield.
Yeah, now if you're the Tigers, you'd be lucky to get into field goal range for another 3 points here. I mean, they're pinned back way back there after that personal foul.
Yeah, about 1:20 remaining. And if the Northmen didn't use 2 consecutive timeouts earlier in this half, this is probably a time where they'd use those, try to get the ball back, and potentially tie this game up before halftime, but they only have 1 left. They took 2, one of them, in my opinion, unnecessary of a timeout, but Martinez taking his time here. The Northmen did kick off, so they will get the ball to start the half. Manning in motion just like we've seen all night. He gets the ball, and he's going to try to get to that outside corner. He does. He's not going to get a first down, but he gets near the original line of scrimmage for about a 10-yard rush.
Yeah, it was a great job selling the fake by Martinez there on the option. Looked like half the O-line half the D-line, was baited by that fake on the Martinez's part and allowed Manning a little extra room there.
Yeah, Manning probably didn't realize it, but he did end up going out of bounds, which stops the clock at 41.9 seconds. Kind of a free timeout for the Northmen. They do still have a timeout. If I'm the Tigers, I just run this football, but looks like they're going to go for it. Martinez trying to just do something with it, and he's going to be brought down, looks like just behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to go down as a sack. And if the Northmen choose, they do end up using their timeout. 33.5 on the clock.
To the halftime, and they can regroup for the second half. Looks like their defense has been a lot better in the second quarter, about marking all the men, adapting to the Northmen offense. So they'll probably be able to do that better in the second half.
Yeah, it's been a game of adapting to whatever the other team does. It's basically been a game of chess up to this point. Whenever the Tigers, run, the Northmen respond, so then they defend heavy on the run, and that leaves open passing opportunities for the Tigers and vice versa with the Northmen. Pretty good football game so far. 21-14 is our score. Tigers over the Northmen at the moment. Alex Benassi back to punt it away. We're about to get right back into play. Benassi gets the punt away. It's fair caught at the 29-yard line.
First and 10 for the Northmen from the 30-yard line.
It's going to be tricky here for the Northmen to get really anywhere. Less than 30 seconds left in the half and 0 timeouts. They're going to have to make some good slant passes, out routes to the sideline to stop that time.
Yeah, the Northmen, this is a scenario where they don't have much time, 26 seconds, but their offensive play style up to this point would suit getting into field goal range here. They like to play on the outside of the field. Most of the time they're snapping the ball from one of the hash marks. In this case, they're right in the middle, and let's see if Clemens can do anything for the Northmen here. He drops back, everyone going deep. It is a good defensive play from the Tigers. It's going to be incomplete.
Brings up second down and 10.
It was intended for Bubba Bogart.
And don't be shocked if you see a few more of those long balls by Clemens here to close out the half.
Max Cates was in coverage there, and he kind of hobbled off the field for the Tigers after a good defensive play. But I'm right there once again going to be incomplete. We're down to 12.9 seconds on the clock.
Pass is incomplete. Third down and 10.
Third down coming up for the Northmen. And if you're the Northmen here, you can either take another heave or you could just concede and, take a knee. You don't want to, heave up a ball and it get ran all the way back. The Tigers have shown they might pull a little bit of a crazy plays out of their sleeve quite a bit this season. So we'll see what they decide to do here. They're lining up just like they have been.
Looks like they're going to opt to pass here, which they do.
Clemens with men all around him. His pass in this away. And it's been a pretty lengthy first half here at Bud Hertzog Stadium. And if you're the Tigers here, you can't, fall asleep. This could potentially be an opportunity to get some, cheat points up on the board, so to say. We remember Oak Park had trouble with long snapping just a few drives ago. It was good that time, but
Looked like they were a little all over the place. They were under, over to the side. I hope they get that figured out before this next half starts.
yeah, it's something that you have to be able to snap the ball, or else you're going to have problems. I remember a famous play in Tiger football world just a few years ago at Rockhurst in a district game. Tigers looked like they weren't going to really get another chance. And Rockhurst actually snapped the ball over. I believe it was the punter's set. I believe it was fourth down, and Rockhurst was trying to pin the Tigers in. There's hardly any time left on the clock. Felix Anudike for the Tigers, who now plays football at K-State, was able to pick that ball up, and it was almost like a miracle of sorts. The Tigers didn't end up winning that game, but I remember one of our old partners up here, Kyle Cumberland, had a "Do you believe in miracles" call that we remember to this day. See if the Northmen can safely punt this ball away, though.
And also, the long snapper did not have a miscue a while ago in this first half. It could possibly still be 14-14 going into halftime.
The snap is good. The punt is away. And it is going to roll, and that is also going to roll out the clock. Double zeros on the clock. After first half here at Bud Hertzog Stadium, Tigers lead the Northmen 21-14. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after halftime. We'll see you then. Welcome back to Bud Hertzog Stadium. We're just moments away from half number 2. If you want some score updates from across the Metro, we'll begin with the professional NFL team here, the Chiefs. They are winning at the start of the third quarter, 21-3 over the Vikings in final week of preseason. Also from Lee Summit North, they're still up 28-0 at halftime against Blue Springs South. Rockhurst is actually beating Ray Peck, the reigning state champions, 14-0 in the third quarter. And Lee Summit West is all over Park Hill, 28-0 Lee Summit West in that one in the third quarter as well. Let's talk about this game, Austin. We're just moments away from second half kickoff. The story of the first half for the Tigers was Tino Martinez making plays on the ground and in the air. Tell us a little about that.
Right, I mean, this Tigers offense is just so lethal. You can run with the quarterback, run with the running back, throw it to any one of your talented receivers, and don't forget about your SEC commit, Max Wisner, at tight end.
Yeah, Max Wisner is someone who he'll probably make an impact in this game. It's 21-14 Lee Summit over Oak Park at the moment. Oak Park within striking distance. And, from them, Clemens, their quarterback, really good start, then kind of settled down a little bit. Oak Park was able to salvage a touchdown at the end of the first half. So for them, it's just a matter of can they get another touchdown and tie this thing up with their first drive. They will get the ball to start the second half. Looks like we are about 2 minutes from kickoff, so we'll take a few breaks. Hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Gear up at Academy Sports and Outdoors. It's back to school time, and at Academy, your favorite brands are all in play. Like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Crocs, Puma, and the North Face. Bring on the fun and get out there. Whether you're playing for the home team or perfecting your game at home, at Academy, we'll bring the fun to you. Buy online and pick up curbside or in-store and get free shipping on orders over $25.
Gear up at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
Welcome back to Bud Hertzog Stadium. Just about set for second half kickoff. Tigers getting ready. Coach Thomas is obviously not a person that will ever fail to get his team, hyped up. We hear it in practice every single day. But the Tigers trying to get that loud crowd, the student section, a little more energetic. There's some good cheers. It was really energetic in the first quarter, and after that kind of faded away. Hopes are that this is going to be a good game, so they'll be in it right to the end of the game. Austin, what is one thing that you think Oak Park needs to do to finish out this game on top? They're down 7 right now. They need a score.
Well, I feel like their offense has been good when they pass the ball, stretch out that Tiger defense. When they run the ball, usually the Tigers can read that, and they're usually all over it, except whenever the running back gets a few extra yards because of his size. But other than that, I say you pass the ball, some more screens, some more well-timed screens can give them a lot of yardage, and some quick slant routes to Gant Jr. had really been helpful for them in this first half.
Yeah, Gant Jr. is certainly a player to mention. I mean, we heard his name called on the PA system numerous times. I can't even count on my 2 hands. It was more than 10 times, I truly believe. But here we go. 11 players on the field for both teams. We are just about set to go into the second half of the season for both of these teams. And I will say, once again, it is so good to have everyone back here tonight. Seriously, from both sides. It's just really good to see everyone out here, hopefully safely, and hopefully we won't have any COVID outbreaks like that. I don't want to jinx anything, so I'm going to stop talking about that. Tigers ready, and away we go. Second half football underway, and it's a botched catch on the return. Could be trouble for Oak Park. They recover, and oh my goodness, what a turnaround. It's going to be a foot race. Down to the 20, the 10, and Oak Park will take it all the way back for a touchdown. Unbelievable, 100 yards.
And after that muffed catch, you thought the most they would get would be at their own 10-yard line, but they end up turning it all the way into a touchdown. That is exactly what Oak Park needs to start off this half.
I mean, just a mental lapse for the Tigers. I mean, when you have something like that, you have to pin them inside, their own 20 at most. You have to take advantage of that. Instead, all the way to the end zone on the opposite side, that Oak Park student section, they're jumping up and down now, and they're kicking to tie this game. What a turn of events.
Ryan, that was one of the Tigers' kickers' longer kicks this game, and you could see the Tigers were a little slow getting there, which gave the kick returner some time to gather the ball and find a hole in the defense to run through.
Snap, hold, the kick is up, and this time it is good. Just 19 seconds into the second half, Oak Park has tied this game at 21. What a turn of events.
What of a turn of events that was. That just completely switched the momentum of the game. I mean, it was all Tigers in the second quarter, and now it's looking like it's going to be Oak Park's quarter to win here.
I mean, we haven't even changed our halftime graphic to say third quarter, and Oak Park's already tied this game. I mean, that is exactly what the doctor ordered, and Oak Park is just, you couldn't have drawn up a better possibility. That's the stuff you dream of in your head. Say, I'm going to run this kickback and tie this game. And I couldn't hear over the PA system. I couldn't see the number from up here. It could have been Gant. I wasn't able to see. But regardless, we are tied at 21, and now we have about, let's be honest, still 24 minutes on the clock, and it's anyone's ball game.
Yep, this loud crowd's trying to get this Tiger team back into it. Maybe they can get a good return themselves, give themselves in good field position for this upcoming drive, because they need to score here if they want to keep this game from getting out of hand, because these Oak Park Northmen have come out hot this second half already, and it's less than a minute in.
Kickoff. Looks like Manning will receive. He runs to his left. And the Tigers with a good return of their own here, and that actually was not Manning.
Return on the play by number 17.
That was
Max
number 17,
Cates.
Max Cates.
Tackle by number 33, Jet Sutton.
And now the Tigers, they really were not wanting to be in this position where they get the ball back and the game is tied. They couldn't imagine that they were going to get the ball with 11:34 and the game was tied. Coach Thomas not happy on the sideline with the way he's walking. But, I wouldn't be either, and I'm sure you wouldn't be at home.
Yeah. This Tiger offense has to keep their head in the game, has to keep it straight. No silly mistakes here.
Coach Thomas and co watching on the sideline. This is the play that they just called.
Ball carrier was number 5.
Josh Manning gets it to the sideline. Manning has been pretty involved in the Tigers offense tonight. If the Tigers have a set of downs, he goes in motion at least one time. And normally it's more than that. It just depends on what type of style of play the Tigers are looking for on that particular play. Martinez takes the snap and hands it off. Once again, going to the outside corner. It's a good run for the Tigers. It'll be a first down. And it was Devin Andrews. Devin Andrews back up to Jalen Johnson, but he certainly is elusive. He's quick, kind of the opposite that Jalen Johnson is. But, you know, you need a change of speed, and that is very valuable to this team. And there he goes, Devin Andrews. It's going to be a foot race, and he's going to be brought down at the 15-yard line. We were just talking about how he's valuable to the team, and there's about a 30 or 40-yard rush, and the Tigers are into the red zone.
I mean, this is excellent by the Tigers. A few great plays by their running backs in the offense to get them back in this game and have a very good chance to put some points on the board here.
And flag before the play. Play was blown dead, meaning that it was false start, offside, something like that. That would have not allowed the play to continue. It's a false start on the Tigers. That will move them back 5 yards.
Against the Tigers. First down and 15.
So the Tigers will barely move out of the red zone. And you're nearing the point where you'd maybe want to put Jalen Johnson in to power his way in. But from this distance, I'd take my bet with Andrews, try to get in behind those linebackers. And there he goes in and picks up a few yards. 1 or 2, it looks like.
No, it seems like they should go in the air now. I mean, they've rushed the ball 3 or 4 times in a row here, and they could get the defense really off balance here if they have a good screen like they tried to do on that last play with Alex that got blown dead. But other than that, they're looking pretty good on this drive.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a pass here likely from the Tigers. 3 lined up out wide. There's Manning in motion again. It's a play action. Martinez having to try to keep the play alive. He gets away. How in the world did he not go down? And he's going to run out of bounds near the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, it's a great effort there by Martinez to not let down his team by losing some yards. Great job recognizing the pocket collapsing and stepping up into it, and then breaking a few tackles and getting back to the line of scrimmage and maybe earning a few yards on the way there.
And once again, we apologize for some frame rate issues right now. We're trying to get those taken care of as much as we can. As of the game, we have 9:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And Martinez with it. He throws it over the middle. And Northman defender is going to get flagged for that one. Looks like he got there a little too early. He's not happy about it. It was a really close one. Let's see if it actually stands.
Yeah, it did seem like he got his hands extended a few seconds too early there. If not, that would have been a great defensive play. But obviously he was in front of him. Cornerback was behind him. Tough play for that. And it looks like it's going to be offside, or excuse me, pass interference.
It looks like it was Aiden Hinkle who would be the person in trouble if this call actually goes forth. And that's going to be on... it's going to be offsetting penalties, it looks like. We're going to redo the down. It was pass interference on the defense, and it was something against the Tigers. I didn't catch what it was, but we're going to replay the down. It's still 3rd and 11 from the 16-yard line. 9:38 remaining in the quarter.
Looks like someone was downfield on the Tigers' end that was not supposed to be there. That's what earned him that penalty there.
That's what it was. It was ineligible man downfield. Good shout, Austin. Always backing me up here. Look at him. Martinez throws to the sideline. It is caught for a touchdown. Number 5, Josh Manning, once again making himself known. And the Tigers, just like that, regain the lead.
Yep. You'd see him eventually in the second half, and it wasn't too long either. I mean, you can see that play from a mile away. The way he gets ISO on that quarterback, he's so hard to guard one-on-one.
The Tigers with the fight song playing with the band. Not sure if you can hear. Tigers will elect to kick in this scenario. And A little scare there on the snap, but the kick is up and good. Tigers gain the lead 28-21. 9:31 remaining in the third quarter. And if you can do the math, we're just under 3 minutes into this quarter, and we already have 14 points on the board.
Yeah, we can get some scores into the 40s, maybe even 50s, if this is how the rest of the half goes here. I mean, both offenses on full gear, and it's looking like it'll be a pretty entertaining second half.
And down there, I can see Coach Thomas emphasizing to his special teams unit that is about to take the field, don't let what just happened happen again. That is something that they can't afford to let that happen. I remember last year, Brock Coble of Lee Summit West ran back a similar kick. It was 90-something yards. Stuff like that is an absolute killer to your team. You can't let that stuff happen. But, lesson learned for the Tigers. It's better to learn it now than in November in districts. But our score is 28-21. Last year, little refresher, Lee Summit beat Oak Park 34-33 on Oak Park's home soil. So we're nearing that amount of points, so to say. We're going to be in for another high-scoring one tonight, it appears. Surely action-packed game so far.
I mean, Coach Thomas probably emphasizes his players that they got to get down there as fast as they can, but that's a great kick. And that'll be a touchback.
Just a touchback, and that's exactly what Coach Thomas was hoping for out of his kicker there. Not even giving Oak Park a chance to run a kickback. But here we go. Oak Park, stage is set for them. Ty Clemens back out on the field. Can his seniority leadership lead his team to get back in this one? They're just a touchdown down, so they are still obviously in the game, but obviously they want to be either tied or on top, to be honest. I sound like Captain Obvious, almost like Booger McFarland talking here, but no shade to Booger.
Yep, you almost really need to see Gant Jr. here on this drive.
And there he is. Many calls for holding. I don't actually see a flag. And Gant is exactly who it was. Austin predicting things again.
Yeah, we're looking for Gant to do some of those jet sweeps this half, but also some slants and some streaks. I mean, he's been really good at getting through his cornerback and his linebacker and his safety, and see if he can do some more of that this second half.
Clemens takes the snap. It's a handoff to Braxton, and look at him go. He gets the first down for the Northmen up near the 40. Malachi Mitchell brought him down, and it's a new set of downs for the Northmen.
Yeah, it looks like Mitchell got banged up on that play. I mean, when you got a workhorse like that going right at you, it's pretty tough not to get a bruise or a little bump from that.
Exactly. Braxton and Jalen Johnson both remind me of a Kareem Hunt type of player on the offensive side of things. They truly just they are so hard to bring down. Braxton, and there's actually a good play right there. This could be trouble for the Tigers, falling all over each other, and it's inside the 20. The Northmen, just like that, are knocking on the door of the Tigers.
Tackle is made on the play for number 30, Avion Wallace. 1st and 10 for the Northmen.
There he is again, Gant Jr., another big play for this Northman offense. Let's see if he can get one more here and earn them a touchdown in a tie game.
I mean, this game flow is just going so quickly. There's still 8:36 on the clock. Northmen got the ball with 9:38. That play is completely busted up in the backfield by the Tigers. Braxton had nowhere to go there.
Yep.
But back to the time thing, I mean, Northmen have had the ball for about a minute and 15 seconds-ish, and they are already, they were in the red zone. That just pushed them out. It's going to be 2nd and 12.
You can see a lot more of that Tiger D-line recognizing the run and then sending everyone down there. I mean, that was a great job by that defense, getting through their blocks and getting to the running back there.
Like you said, we need to give the Tigers defensive line credit. A lot of those incomplete passes from Clemens have been forced by the pressure, and Tigers blitzing their outside linebackers. It's a pass that is over the head of the receiver. Once again, I believe forced by a collapsing pocket. It's going to be 3rd and 12.
Just a little high there from Clemens. If he gets that down, that's a touchdown, but that's a great route there.
Great route, and just couldn't quite execute the throw. And if you're the Tigers, I spoke earlier, their red zone defense last year was very, very solid. This year, it's we haven't seen enough to determine whether that's still the case or not. Very few returning seniors from that defense, and they're facing off against a very experienced Oak Park team. Play is blown dead, and we'll see what the call is on that one. Oak Park players walking backward. I believe it's a false start.
False start call against the Northmen.
It looks like that would have been another jet sweep to Gant Jr. there. Tigers still got to watch that.
Yeah, I mean, Gant Jr. and Braxton would probably be the two players here that you would most likely see, going forward.
See what the Northmen draw up here on 3rd and long here in the red zone.
Clemens with the snap on 3rd and 17. And that's going to be stopped pretty quickly by the Tigers and that linebacking core.
Very questionable play call there, excuse me. And you have receivers like Gant Jr. and a running back as big as Braxton. Choose a QB keeper. It's kind of an odd play to me.
I have to agree with you on there. I'm not going to lie. I was expecting a pass of some sorts there. In this scenario, you're down 7. Maybe they were thinking that they were trying to get this on 2 downs. But if they got a certain amount of yards, they'd go for it on 4th down. But it looks like they're going to bring out the kicking unit. And this would make it a 4-point game. Snap is down. Kick is blocked. Or it may have just been too low and hit the line. Tigers are going to get the ball regardless near midfield. And what a turn of events. Once again, here we go. The Tigers getting excellent field position with a chance to make this a 2-score game.
Yeah, it looks like that kick was way too low. It would not have got there anyways, but it's a great block by the Tigers and a good 25 yards picked up on that blocked kick.
Yeah, and that's why at first I said kick was blocked, but I wasn't even sure if that hit a Tiger. I couldn't see from where I was. I mean, that could have hit just someone in the line. That kick was awfully low. The first extra point that was missed from Oak Park was low. So a little bit of kicking problem. So you'd think, I don't know if it was the right decision to go for it on 4th down or not. But here's Manning, and he's going to pick up the 1st down for the Tigers.
Don't be surprised if they go back to that Manning jet sweep anytime soon. I mean, they've been getting some really good yards off that play. And they'll be getting
There's Manning once again that you see. He is someone that he's just been all over the place all night long on both sides of the ball. Tigers look like they have a lineman knocked up. He'll hurry off the field. It's like C.J. Schaffer. 6:45 on the clock. Martinez with the snap. He hands it off. And there we go again. The Tigers. Another solid play near the 1st down marker. I don't believe the chains are going to move on that one. Andrews once again using his elusiveness. He's been a great change of pace between him and Johnson. And Johnson back out there now.
I mean, Andrews outside has been looking really solid. When he gets to that corner, it looks like someone on the Tigers jumped there for a false start.
And it's going to be on the Tigers. Pretty easy to see there. I see JT Belt running onto the field. And we're getting the "you can't do that" chant from Oak Park now. Both student sections kind of been going at it all game. We've heard the "we can't hear you" chant It's the things you love about Friday Night Football. We missed last year. We heard them virtually, but this year back in person the way things used to be. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 for the Tigers after that penalty. And they're just going to hand it off to Johnson, and he is going to carry that line with him a few extra yards.
Jalen Johnson with the carry.
And that's a lot of weight to carry, and he carried it well. I think it's only going to be 3rd and short here, the 35-yard line.
3rd down and 2.
I'd assume the way the Tigers are lined up, they are going to Johnson again. They have Max Weisner lined up in like a fullback role, and Johnson may not have got there.
Jalen Johnson with the carry.
And he was tripped up pretty easily, and I believe he did not get there.
Tackled by 71, Giuliano.
We're going to have a injury timeout. Oak Park has a man down. It's going to be 4th down and 2 for the Tigers. We'll take a quick break up in the booth. We will be right back.
Whether we're rising to meet a moment or the moment comes to meet us, we make our mark by showing up for our team. And when we do, we build something special. We become something bigger, more than something that can be defined on a map. We become a community with a shared understanding that when we rise together, we rise higher. Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
Welcome back to Bud Hertzog Stadium. 28-21 in favor of the Tigers from Lee Summit. Man still down for Oak Park. Looks like he was just able to get to his feet, walking off on his own will, which is always good to see. And it was number 55, Charo Model. Apologies if I pronounced that incorrectly. We have 5:37 on the clock. It looks like the Tigers are going to opt to go for it.
Yeah, this could be a pretty crucial play for the Northmen. If they stop them here, they're all of a sudden back in this game within 7 points.
Yeah, it'd be decent field position, but Jalen Johnson said no. He gets the 1st down and more, all the way down to the 16-yard line where he's pulled out of bounds. Jalen Johnson, the workhorse from last year. I think it's safe to say he's back in 2021.
Oh yeah, that was a run that he was doing all in the first half that we haven't quite seen in the second half yet, but it's good to see that he got that run in. And now we got Tigers ball in the red zone.
And we've talked about it with Andrews being a great change of pace. You're used to Johnson, who's not as fast as Andrews, but obviously way stronger. Andrews not as strong as Johnson, but way quicker, way more elusive. Both backs, having both backs like that on top of a running quarterback like Tino Martinez, it's great to have. And the Tigers, their offense has looked pretty good so far tonight. And we're going to have another timeout on the field. We'll actually stay with you this time. Austin, I'm trying to think of the last time, we played Oak Park in a sport other than football. Oak Park, obviously, we've talked about how we didn't play them for 11 years before last year, and now they're a common opponent. I mean, every single sport plays them, because they're in our conference now. Suburban Red it's the 2nd highest one up on the Suburban chart. But back to the game, 28-21. 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. A touchdown here would be huge. It's a play action, and the pass is behind the receiver, but is still brought in by number 2, Alex Benassi.
Finally starting to see some of that senior leadership on the offense step up and make some plays for this team. And if they want to win this game, they got to do more of that in the second half.
And the receiver coach, has been blown away by Benassi's hands.
Yeah, I mean, Benassi's always been the guy. He's very technical, very athletic, can make those plays that not many other receivers can. It's great to see you got a reception in now.
Yeah, Benassi, a three-sport athlete. He's everywhere at LSHS. Martinez scrambling, running out of room, does a little juke, and he will run out of bounds around the 5. It was 2nd and 4. Did he gain 4 yards is the question. He did. The chains do move.
That play results in at least Summit Tiger.
Now, if I was you, Blake, I think a good idea here would be ramming it in there with Johnson, like they did on that drive earlier in the game. I mean, it looked quite easy to get in there. Well, let's see what they do now. Let's see if the defense is prepared for that.
Yeah, I would say being an offensive coordinator for this Tigers team has to be fun. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. And definitely here, I would agree with you. If I was the coordinator, I would jam this up the middle with Johnson. And that's not what they do. It's an option, and Martinez keeps it. He's trying to find a way into the end zone. Can the pile push him? No, he's down just short of the goal line, around the 1.
I mean, I think that caught the whole stadium off guard there. Did not think that Martinez was going to keep that ball, and he did, and he got a few yards.
Yeah, I would have bet the house, basically, that Johnson would have kept that ball. But here we are. 2nd and goal. About a yard to the end zone. Martinez does hand it off this time. And Oak Park stopped them again. 2 stands in a row. A goal line stand for Oak Park. We're up to 3rd and goal. In my opinion, I'm someone who is risky. I think this is 4-down territory for the Tigers. Although a field goal would put you up 2 scores, with the way the Tigers' defensive line has pressured Oak Park's quarterback Clemens, I would say it'd be okay to lose it on 4th down here. I think you go for the end zone both times here. Handoff again, and Johnson walks right into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, we saw that play coming. After that last play that Martinez kept, we had a feeling that Johnson was going to keep that one. He did, and it's a touchdown, Tigers.
Huge touchdown for the Tigers. Gets us up to a 13-point game. It gets the student section going. And this is just kind of like the icing on the cake for that last drive. Flags fly. The kick hit the upright and bounced out. The play was dead before it began. It's a false start on the Tigers.
False start against the Tigers.
Oak Park's going to have a pretty big bone to chew after being down 2 scores now with limited time left in this game, and the Tigers defense doing so well in this second half so far. What are they going to draw up this time to try and get another score on the board?
Yeah, last time the Tigers had to retry a PAT, they were unsuccessful. It was a bad snap, bad hold, we couldn't tell. That kick is certainly up and certainly good. 35-21. And safe to say, the Tigers have a pretty good kicker on their hands. Rowan McCarthy has been solid all night long on those PATs.
He's only a sophomore as well. I mean, he has a lot more room to grow as well. I like to see what he does in a few years from now when he's a senior.
Yeah, I mean, when you're out there as a sophomore, kicking field goals for the football team, it's not easy to do. Nerves can get to you. It makes you wonder if, he's played soccer at some point in his life. Oftentimes soccer players like to kick for football teams. Common all around the metro for a soccer player to be their kicker.
I will say he was on the Winsboro Wave swim team back in the day when I was on it. So that's one thing he's done. That's what I know.
Swimming's not an easy sport.
It's not. very, very tiring. I will say that.
Yeah, I get tired just going and playing around in the pool with my buddies. Back to the game, 3:23 left in the third quarter. Been a long game tonight. Kick is away, and that will go into the end zone for another touchback.
First and 10 for the Northmen from the 20-yard line.
I mean, just another booming kick by McCarthy there. Love to see that.
Yeah, McCarthy, I think if Coach Thomas, especially, no shade to the special teams team, after seeing that kick, it ran back, because mistakes happen. But I think for the rest of tonight, at least till they can work on it in practice, it's probably just telling McCarthy, kick that ball as far as you can. Let's not try to, bounce it to him and make him, miscatch the ball, something like that. Just be safe and kick it out of bounds, because the team so far has been very solid, the Tigers, at keeping the Northmen offense at bay. 35-21 is our score. The snap to Clemens, he pitches it. And what a hit. So I say, what a lead to the helmet. I don't really know how to describe that. It's Braxton once again, the power back, getting in there, and hard hits like that are just a part of football.
Yeah, but you can see that short build, giant muscles. I mean, how hard is it to tackle someone like that, especially when they're going full speed downhill right at you?
Yeah, I mean, especially at that point, trying to get to the outside. Hits like that do occur quite a bit, and when you see it at the high school level, you're a little frightened a little bit, but Clemens keeps it and pitches it outside, and Northmen will get up around the 45-yard line, out of bounds at the 44.
A great decision right there for Clemens to throw it outside, because he had a few linebackers waiting for him to get past that line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, the Tigers linebackers have been really good at connecting the defensive line to the cornerbacks, safeties, out there. They've been really solid at it. They've yet to let Clemens really escape himself like Tino Martinez has been able to against the Northmen defense.
Although Clemens is not as elusive as Martinez is, Tigers have done a great job keeping him in the pocket, forcing bad throws.
DeAndre Braxton with the carry. Tackled by number
Braxton
70,
with another
O'Shawn
carry.
O'Gevin.
It's going to be 2nd down and 7.
2nd down and 7.
I like to see them use their receivers more this drive. They've been using their running backs a lot, but they got Gant Jr. They have been using him a lot. Let's see if they can find him on this drive here.
Clemens takes it down and is taken down just across midfield.
Tackle was made by number 31, Jimmy McGovern. 3rd down and 4.
And Austin mentioned before the game that Northmen are 5-0 here at Bud Hertzog Stadium in their time. They've been very successful here before the stadium was named Bud Hertzog Stadium. The Northmen and the Tigers were very common opponents back in the day, and as soon as it hit 2009, did not meet again until 2020. Braxton takes the ball and is blown up in the backfield.
DeAndre Braxton with the carry.
There's that great run defense there by the Tigers. The linebackers noticing that and getting in is really good.
And that's actually going to bring up 4th down. That actually snuck up on me. And Oak Park looks like they're going to bring out their punt unit. And you'd have to think down 14 with looks like 56 seconds remaining in the third quarter. If the Tigers were to get a touchdown here and go up 3 scores, they'd be in pretty good shape. An angled punt from Oak Park. Tigers just saying to get away from it. It's going to go out of bounds at the 22-yard line. That's where the Tigers will take over.
It's got to creep into the Northmen's mind. When do you hit that panic button? When do you have to score now? I mean, it's creeping up on the fourth quarter now, and they're still down 2 scores, so they got to figure out a way to get those points back.
For the Tigers from the 23-yard line.
I'm right with you there. And the Tigers, in my opinion, if I was them, I would be in chew clock mode. Martinez takes the snap. And it's a run up the middle by Devin Andrews for about 4 or 5.
Yep,
and that's exactly what the Tigers need to just do to burn this clock out.
Right, I mean, they don't really need to pass here. They don't need to put that risk unless it's 3rd and long, maybe. I mean, they're up by 2 scores. They just got to play conservative here in these last quarter.
10 seconds. This will be the last play of the quarter. Andrews takes it for a few more. He's just short of the first down. It'll be about 3rd and 1. And that will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
3 quarters down, 1 to go. We will be back after a word from our sponsors.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back to Bud Hertzog Stadium. Tigers lead the Northmen 35-21 in both teams' season openers. They played in Jamborees last Friday. Tonight is what matters. The Tigers, so far, so good for them. Aside from a few mistakes, Oak Park, they've allowed a few too many big plays for the Tigers. That's hurt them. And that's a handoff for the Tigers. They needed 1 yard. It was 3rd and 1. And they got down at the 31-yard line, or around, I should say. Chains are not moving. It's going to be 4th and less than a yard.
Jalen Johnson with the carry.
Jalen Johnson was denied there. They're going to send Andrews back on the field instead of Johnson.
4th down and 1.
Which makes you think, are they actually going to run the ball here?
It could be Andrews' run to the outside, but I can't see them going past Johnson here. I mean, he's so big, he'll get you a yard at least on every rush.
And we have a timeout on the field by the Tigers. And we'll take a quick moment to acknowledge some Tiger sports so far. Today was the first day of fall sports in action. Volleyball, all 3 teams were victorious over Oak Park. Varsity won in straight sets, just to point that out. So shout out to the Tiger volleyball team on starting off their season 1-0, all 3 teams. The softball team started their season out 1-0. They beat Harrisonville 14-2 today in the first game of their tournament. And here we are tonight as kind of the most, I guess you could say, what most people are tuning into tonight. And the Tigers on top 35-21. We will, keep in mind, stay subscribed to our channel. We will be live streaming, games like volleyball, streaming as many fall sports as we can. Soccer also. But Tigers today, if they hold on to this, they are 3-0 today. So, in their varsity sports. So, great start. And, stay tuned to our social media for updates on how all Tiger sports are doing.
If this line holds, it'll be a great day to be a Tiger. 1-0 in 3 sports already.
That's exactly what you want to see. We throw around the phrase TPX, tradition, pride, excellence. Excellence on the field is occurring. It's 4th and less than a yard, but the Tigers are going to play it safe. They punt it away with Benassi. And an unlucky bounce. The Tigers are going to scoop that up right at midfield, and that's where Oak Park will take over in good field position. Good defense from Oak Park to get their offense back on the field. 11:05 remaining.
It's like Benassi, a little bit of a mishit there, and that wind's not helping either. It's pushing it back even farther. Plus, the bad hop on that football gave Oak Park some good field position.
You said it, bad hop really did hurt Benassi there, as well as the wind. The wind's kind of picked up as the night has gone on. What can Clemens do for Oak Park? Down 14 with time running out. He rolls out to the right and throws a great pass to the sideline.
Ty Clemens' pass is caught by number 14, Bubba Bogart.
Interesting decision to stay in bounds there instead of going out. He was right there. Got a few extra yards from staying in bounds at least.
Yeah, Bogart picked up 7 there via Clemens' throw. It's going to be 2nd down and 3.
2nd down and 3.
And the officials say, hold up, something happened before the play. And it's going to be a false start on Oak Park.
False start against the Northmen. Be 2nd down and 8.
Not the best thing for Oak Park. Had 2nd and short. That expands it to 2nd and 8. Quick math in the booth. We can do math too.
Now it's going to be interesting with the Northmen draw up here. Are we going to see a run or are we going to see a pass? 2nd and 8, they can really do whatever they want here.
Clemens steps into one, heaves it over the middle. It's incomplete. Good coverage by the Tigers. And there is someone on Oak Park down. Stayed down after the pass flew over his head.
Yeah, it seems like Clemens has been a little off the second half. His throws have just been a tad too high for the receivers, and they keep on slipping out of the hands.
One of Tigers down as well. A lot of guys down on the field right now, guys taking knees. And the coaching staff hurrying to get him off the field, hoping he is okay. Believe it was Malachi Mitchell. Well, we got 10-11 remaining in the game. Plenty of time for Oak Park to do something. We're on the Tigers' 48-yard line, but it is 3rd down and 8. Clemens scrambling. The Tigers got to him. Good throw. And was it enough for a first down? That's the question. It was a good catch. I believe it was not. It's going to be 4th down for the Northmen.
I mean, this is an obvious 4th down, go for it situation here. Less than 10 minutes left in the game, and they're down 14. So they've got to go for
100%. It's do or die in this situation. There's still time if they're unable, if they're unable to get this here. But I mean, this is the odds are staggered against them if they're unable to complete this. It's a short 4th down and 2. The safe play is go to Braxton, and the Northmen are going to think about it. The long game gets even longer. Northmen use their first timeout of the half as 9:37 remains in this one. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Whether we're rising to meet a moment or the moment comes to meet us, we make our mark by showing up for our team. And when we do, we build something special. We become something bigger, more than something that can be defined on a map. We become a community with a shared understanding that when we rise together, we rise higher. Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
Welcome back to Bud Hertzog Stadium. The Tigerettes and the cheerleaders leading the loud crowd in some chants. We're getting around that time where every play is crucial to the outcome of this game. Fourth down and 2. Huge play here, Clemens, and it's completed by the Northmen for a first down.
Ty Clemens' pass is caught by number 2, Aiden
Now, if
Hinkle.
you were Ken Clemens,
First and 10
the
for
Northman
the
head
Northmen.
coach, is it time to hit the panic button yet? They're down 14 with less than 10 minutes remaining.
I think the way their defense has been able to produce a few, quick stops against the Tigers offense, they're still in this game completely.
They're going to need a big stop here if they don't score.
Clemens sends it deep, and it's just out of the hands.
Pass ball is incomplete. Second down and 10.
I mean, that was in his hands, and he ended up dropping it.
That was a great ball by Clemens there. Just gets it over the cornerback, right to Gant Jr., who we've talked about already so much this game, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a great pass from Clemens. That was right on the money, and I don't think Gant thought it was actually going to get to him.
I'll be honest, I didn't either. It looked like this cornerback was going to knock it out or something, but just barely got over his outstretched arms.
Student section getting a little louder on the Lee Summit side. Clemens throws one over the top. It's incomplete. He was forced to throw by pressure from that Tigers defensive line once again.
You wonder how much that drop pass by Gant's going to come back to bite him here. Are they going to convert here, or did that pass really hurt him?
Yeah, and that is going to bring up third down, like we said. Huge play here. The Tigers trying to keep the Northmen out. They're up 14. Here comes the noise from the student section. Clemens swarmed, and the pass is dropped.
Some miscues
It was dropped by Hinkle.
Some miscues by the Northman offense here in this fourth quarter already. I mean, it's crunch time now. You can't be having those mistakes, and we're seeing those right now. It's 4th and 10.
Yeah, it's not surprising that whenever the noise came from the loud crowd, that mistakes started to happen for the Northmen. And this, once again, it's do or die. 4th and 10. It's not necessarily die, but 9:08 remaining, and we've been talking about they're running out of time. And if they're unable to convert this here, Tigers are just going to completely go into chew clock mode for the rest of the game. Clemens rolls out to the right. He throws a pass that will hit the ground. It's not complete. It's a turnover on downs. The Tigers are going to take over at the 37-yard line.
It's going to be pretty hard to come back now. 2 timeouts left. Tigers are going to probably chew the clock here for the rest of the game. Get both those running backs some time. And you got to come up with a stop here if you're going to want to win this game for Oak Park.
And another score update from across Lee Summit. Final score at Lee Summit North 28, Blue Springs South 10. So fellow school in the district improves to 1-0. That was supposed to be a pretty good matchup. Lee Summit North controlled the majority of the game. Here we are now, though. The Tigers trying to run this clock out. Martinez hands it off. Devin Andrews, and he will pick up about 5 or 6.
Tackled by number 58, Jermaine Harris.
It's going to be a second down and about 5.
Second down and 5.
We're trying to get you a score update from the Lee Summit West game as well. But for now, we stay here at Bud Hertzog Stadium. It's been a hot one all night. You can see the fatigue setting in on the players. It's cooled down quite a bit as the sun's gone down, but it's still pretty hot here. Andrews scrambles to the outside and back to the inside, where he is brought down
Devin Andrews with the carry.
about a yard or two past the line of scrimmage.
Now you can already tell this Tigers offense is going to be really good at chewing this clock. They got 2 running backs that can carry the ball and 2 running backs that can carry the ball well, getting at least 3 yards every carry, and that's what they're going to need to close out this game here tonight.
Have another final score for you out at Lee Summit West. Lee Summit West victorious 31-7 over Park Hill. Another district school improving to 1-0 here in LSR 7. Hopefully, from the Tiger side of things, they will improve to 1-0 tonight as well. It's certainly looking that way so far. But it's 2nd down and 15. The Northmen could get another quick stop here, and then you never know what can happen. 8:06 remaining in the game.
And you almost need a stop here to stay in this game, and it's got to be now. They can't let them get this first down at all.
Yep, and it's worth noting they do not have one of their timeouts. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Martinez keeps it, and he is, Northmen are lucky he was brought down there. If Martinez was not brought down there by Donovan Ross, I believe Tino was gone.
That play results in a Lee Summit Tiger.
A first down for the Tigers, new set of downs.
Talk about a great tackle there from the Northman safety to keep that from a touchdown.
Yeah, game-saving tackle for the Northmen right now. I mean, it's a killer to give up the first down, but Shepard went in motion. We have a whistle and something. Oh, it's a delay of game. Play clock ran out on the Tigers, 35 seconds. And that's one of those things you're keeping the Northmen in the game there.
You are, indeed you are. It's 1st and 15 now, it looks like. They've got to get a stop here, the Northmen do.
Martinez throws it, and Andrews is going to get tackled around the 41-yard line, about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 16.
Great job by Aiden Hinkle there to pick up that screen and move over there, get through the blocks, and get to the running back. Great job there.
And another stoppage here. The clock is stopped at 6:49.
2nd down and 16.
And clock back to running. Tigers obviously in chew clock mode, trying to put an end to this longer game for the high school level. Game started at 7 o'clock. It's 9:47 p.m. right now. Weisner in motion. It's another handoff to Andrews. He goes to the outside, and he is ran out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. That stops the clock. And if I'm the Tigers, I'm trying to stay inbounds there. I mean, they keep giving Oak Park free timeouts, and whenever there's a long set of downs here, a long distance to go for a first down. I doubt they're going to throw the ball here. So you think that they just try to stay in bounds and completely milk the clock, but here we are, clock stopped at 6:18.
I don't see what's wrong with just handing it to Johnson up the gut either. I mean, that's been looking like it's been working all game for him, and they just looks like they're sticking with Henderson here.
And Martinez is going to get blown up in the backfield. A late flag that could be in the Tigers' favor. It came in at the very end of the play when Martinez was actually getting up from the tackle.
Looked like a Northman defender got some of Martinez's jersey on the way down. Maybe that could be the case, but let's see what this is called.
Cheers from the Tigers sideline.
The dead ball personal foul against the Northmen.
And if you heard that, dead ball personal foul from the PA system, that translates to late hit or foul after the play. That's an automatic first down for the Tigers, and that might have just done it.
Yep, it's a mental error there by the Northmen. They have him in a good position, 3rd and 15, 3rd and long, and they give up that penalty. It's not what you want to see.
Not what you want to see at all for the Northmen. For the Tigers, they'll take it any day of the week. Martinez did look like he went down a little hard. And we're going to have a timeout on the field. 6:10 on the clock, and it's another water break. So we will take a quick break as well, and we will be back in just a moment.
When it comes to painting the exterior or interior of your home, the decision is easy. Unique Painting, voted best in the Northland for 2 years running in 2018 and 2019. Unique Painting focuses on customers' needs and offers competitive pricing, going the extra mile to make sure customers are completely satisfied. In fact, when 810 Varsity needed a paint job this year, Unique Painting was the only phone call made. Visit anytime at uniquepaintingkc.com or call today at 816-500-7759. That's uniquepaintingkc.com, a proud supporter of 810 Varsity and Metro High School athletics.
Welcome back to the brand new press box here at Bud Hertzog Stadium. 35-21, Tigers is our score. It's 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. And if you want an official time on this game so far, 2 hours, 51 minutes. That is a long one for a high school game. Martinez keeps, and he is going to take it all the way for a touchdown. The nail in the coffin, the dagger, Tino Martinez.
That will not be the last time you see that this season. He's going to have many more of those long rushes. Defense just was not ready for that at all.
Martinez all night has been lethal on his feet, and he puts this game away with 5:58 left. Doesn't officially put it away, but it sure feels like with the game flow we've had that the Tigers will hold on to this lead. The kick is up and straight good. 42-21 Tigers. 6 touchdowns. I talked about how we can do math earlier. Apparently I can't. But, I mean, look at the Tigers. They, all of a sudden now, have blown this thing open.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we got to give some props to the Tiger defense. After that kick return for a touchdown, they've been perfect through the second half, and that's really helped them actually double Oak Park's lead here.
And if you're Oak Park, you really were in this game. You were in this game all the way until about a minute ago. Tino Martinez just put it away, but Oak Park really, they just had a few mishaps. They got let back into the game by the kick return they had for a touchdown right at the beginning of this half, and then it was anyone's half, basically. We were tied at 21. Since that kick return, Oak Park has not put any points on the board. The Tigers defense has completely shut them out. Good look for the Tigers, as obviously the offense for Oak Park hasn't even scored any points in this half. It's just from special teams. They just got to put it away now.
Yeah, perhaps Tigers might just need one more stop here to ice the game.
Kicked off by McCarthy. Oak Park players almost running into each other. And the Tigers are all over that. No special teams mishap this time. Coach is proud of them, as he should be.
Bogart on the return.
You gotta think Oak Park's got to go with Gant Jr. a lot this drive, or at least look at him. I mean, he's been their big guy on offense so far this game, and they need some offense right now, to say the least.
Yeah, they need offense, and they need it badly. Their score has been doubled. They have quite the work cut out for them if they're trying to come back in this game. 5:51 remains.
Yeah, we predicted a point-heavy half here in the second half. It was for the Tigers, but it was not for the Northmen.
That pass is caught over the middle. It's Gant again. If we had high school fantasy football, Gant would be winning you your matchup right now. Clemens trying to do a hurry-up offense of sorts. Throws to the sideline, too high.
It's been the story of Clemens the second half. Too high, it seems like, on almost every throw.
That's a good observation. I agree with that. I mean, it seems like most of the incomplete passes that Clemens has had tonight have been too high rather than too low. The ones he was throwing too low, he was just trying to, get it out of there because he was getting swarmed by the Tigers. He drops back, steps into it, and the pass is caught on the sideline. Ran out of bounds around the 45-yard line.
Ty Clemens' pass is caught by number 14, Bubba Bogart.
Bogart on the catch, and that's going to be good for a first down.
Oak Park's best friend right now has got to be the out route, get out of bounds quick, get 10 yards, and go.
It is their best friend. They need to stop the clock after almost every play. 5 minutes with 2 timeouts is just not enough time for 21 points. Unless they can do onside kicks. In comes a Tiger linebacker, and Clemens goes down.
Another checklist for the Tigers defense this half. They've been doing it all. They've been stopping runs, getting sacks, breaking up passes. They've been doing it all. They've been playing great this second half.
Good sack by the Tigers. It's up to 2nd and 15. Clemens swarmed again. That pass is batted down, and it might have actually been cleanly caught by an offensive lineman.
Incomplete pass. Third down.
They're going to say it was incomplete, so it's going to be 3rd down and 15. And there's an issue with the clock still running, as well as there's a player down for Oak Park.
Now, Blake, this second half has been quite in Lee Summit's favor. Do you think that was the Lee Summit offense or the Northmen defense just not doing their job? I
personally think that the Tigers offense really just turned it on in the second half. They did the things they needed to do right. They got ahead, and they've kept control of the game, basically. Whereas I see your point, because the Tigers' defense has just completely shut down Oak Park. So actually, I'm gonna say in the end, I'm gonna say it's the Tigers' defense, because if you have to score points to score, and Oak Park's been unable to do that. And the student section for Oak Park sees that, and they're making their way out, trying to beat the traffic.
I don't blame them either. I mean, there's no coming back in this game. 4.5 minutes left, down by 21. I think this game's iced.
Yeah, that's not a very favorable deficit to try to come back from. It's going to be 4th down and 14, 4:32 remaining on the clock. And that pass is going to be incomplete over the middle. Oak Park will turn it over on downs, and that, I think, was the nail in the coffin. The Tigers side knows it. The cheers coming in, and just a little before 10 o'clock, Tigers are going to take over. 4:29 remaining.
No, I'm sure we're going to see a running back show here from the Tigers, showing off their 2 running backs. I mean, why not? I mean, they get 5 yards on every carry, it seems like, and that's going to be plenty to get them through these last few minutes of this game.
Yeah, especially with a backfield that they have, Johnson. You can basically power it through with him. You can, beat them to the outside with Andrews. I mean, they've been able to completely control the running game, specifically in the second half, and that play is going to be blown up as soon as it began, basically. A different running back in that time. Looks like it was Jackson Jones, sophomore.
Ball carriers number 29, Alfio DeRozo.
Or Alfio Garozzo. And once again, that play is going to be stopped about right at the line of scrimmage. Oak Park has not used either of their 2 remaining timeouts to this point.
3rd down and 11.
I think this Lee Summit student section knows this game's over. They're waving goodbye to the Oak Park fans, it seems like, and they are right. This game is indeed over.
Yeah, I don't think there's any coming back from this one. For Oak Park, it's basically just how quick this 3 minutes and 7 seconds can run out. It's an option play. It's kept.
Quinn Martin with the carry.
Quinn Martin in at quarterback now. Don't want to risk an injury for Tino. And he's going to be just short of the first down marker.
4th down and short.
Well, I think you go for it here. 4th and 2.
I think you do too. I mean, I think you have an opportunity here, and we've kept saying like icing on the cake, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is there's 2:35 left now. This will end the game. No doubt about it whatsoever if you get the first down here. I think this is it. I think you go for it here, and that's what the Tigers are going to do.
Yeah, I don't see Oak Park using their 2 timeouts either. I think they know this game's going to get ice as well.
Alfio DeRozo with the carry.
Garozzo carries it for a first down. You can hear the chant from the crowd. It's been a long one here at Bud Hertzog Stadium, but time is dwindling down. We're approaching 2 minutes remaining. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They have a few, looks like, backups in the game. Solid effort both on the offensive and defensive side tonight. If Tino had anything to prove at quarterback for the Tigers, he certainly did tonight. Extraordinary with his legs out there, and of course dropped about a 50-yard dime. There's Garozzo again into the red zone. And Garozzo is not a big guy by any means, but he certainly is doing his job out there right now.
Now, one thing we didn't get to see this game was the Max Weiser show. I wonder if the Northmen looked at their film and noticed this guy's going to be a problem and made sure he was marked.
It's almost like if Coach Thomas planned, and figured that Oak Park would be trying to cover up people like Landon Shepard or Max Weisner, Alex Benassi, people like that. But, Josh Manning, huge effort from the wide receiver, role tonight. Of course, we've already talked about Tino Martinez. Someone I was personally really impressed with tonight is Devin Andrews, backup running back for the Tigers. However, he got a lot of playing time tonight, and he did his job perfectly. Huge, great change of pace. Jalen Johnson's touchdown was basically set up by Andrews. So I'm sure Coach Thomas is going to be absolutely pleased with that.
And the saying "speed kills" is pretty fitting for his performance out there tonight. Just getting outside, going up that sideline, no one can touch him.
And the Tigers are going to remain in a shotgun look. It looks like they're just going into a victory formation of sorts. And this game, its time is numbered. 40 seconds remaining. They can run about 15 more seconds off the play clock. The cheers of victory from the Tigers side of things. That knee will do it. About 20 more seconds remaining on the clock, but that will run off. The Tigers, through a lot of adversity tonight, little setbacks, come out victorious 42-21 over Oak Park to stay in Oak Park's, to improve on last year's win against Oak Park. They stay 2-0 since the big break in between playing them. They finally gave Oak Park a loss on the road. We mentioned how they were 5-0 at Hertzog Stadium before this. Tonight, that changed to 5-1. Austin, any final words?
Yeah, it's great to see this Tiger team start off with a win. Knowing that they were 0-5 here against Oak Park, it gave them a big boost, I feel like. And I'm going to be happy to watch them play the rest of the year.
I agree with you, and the student section has actually started to make its way onto the field. And it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a party. They're doing a little tunnel for the victorious team. And everyone's excited. They're glad to be back. It's a great night here. The only thing I personally would change is the heat, make it a little less hot on all of us here. But everyone back in the stands, it was great to have. And, of course, the Tigers victorious on top. So, great news for them. Tigers start their season 1-0. Oak Park falls to 0-1. Thank you for tuning in tonight. For TBTVH Sports, I'm Blake Heisey, joined by Austin Boyer, Elena Twinner, and Elaine McDonald on the camera, and our producer, Lauren Berry. We will see you next Friday night. Take care.